Now it's going to be forever now. You guys, thanks for coming out. This is fuck me. So today we have what you call it, good friend Drew. You guys met Drew already before.
Yes, sir. What up?
Yeah, and then we have our new friend here,
Yes, sir,
Zach King.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, who entrepreneur, businessman. This hat right here, all this brainchild from this man right here. We're gonna have very good fun. You guys enjoy yourselves and sit back and relax and lose an hour.
Dope.
Yeah, it was the thing that's coming out, man. Thank you guys so much. Wrap it up, but I was gonna say, do you have any website or anything you want to plug?
Just residency, www.residency with the 3 .com. Obviously, we're on Instagram, all the socials, man. Locally in town, we got the restaurants going. So just appreciate you having me, man.
Fuck yeah.
And like at the end of the day, man, this is a blessing, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you.
And Drew, anything?
No plug. Go Bills.
Wait, what were you talking about right now?
We were just talking about like an ecosystem of brand loyalty, right? I think that's the thing people don't even realize that they do it to themselves, and rightfully so because they're happy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like we talk about you and Apple. Something goes wrong with your phone, you ain't blaming Apple. You just swapping out your phone. You ain't switching to Android just because of something else. Same thing with the Coke. And I think they've done things like where they've getting the league, like in some of these NFL stadiums, Pepsi is the people. But you'll drink that shit because you have to.
Yeah.
As soon as you leave that stadium, you're going right back to your ecosystem of what you love to do. Some people I've even seen like the suites, they'll say swap that shit. I don't care what's in here. I want 12 Cokes.
Right.
Like I paid $500,000 for the suite. Like go give me some Coke.
Right.
Right. And of course it happens. I mean they bring it in them damn self. Right.
Yeah.
But that's the reality of the ecosystem of a brand. Mm-hmm. And regardless of whatever you're doing, whether it's comedy, whether it's restaurants, whether it's whatever. It's sad because so many people follow the leader, but we see it. Because I ain't like that. If you tell me a good spot, like my Yelp is like the ghetto Yelp.
Yeah.
Carlos said this shit was dope.
Yeah.
This shit is dope. Drew, you told me. How many restaurants have you put me on?
Yeah.
I don't need to go look at Yelp. I call Drew.
Yeah.
Like Drew, what's up? And so that's how I do it. But that's
Cuban
an
sandwiches,
that's an old fashioned mentality. Most people now, whatever the internet
What's the
says they're
Cuban
gonna
place
do.
that you told me to do?
Cubanidad.
Oh, that's your spot?
That's my spot.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's you put me under that.
Thank you. And how was it? Bro?
Yeah, it was great. It was really good. And it's only like right here.
We got 3 in Vegas total. One obviously right around the corner from you. Our first one was on Fort Apache and Twain, right by my office, and then we have one that we just opened up on Sahara and Decatur. Yeah. So 3 locations total. Opened up in pandemic in 2019, but I'm from Florida, like back home, Cuban food's on every corner.
Yeah.
So we felt like, look, man, this Caribbean, South American, Cuban flavor is kind of missing here. Mm. A lot of people know, Mexican food, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
So we first started out in Fort Apache, and we opened up right before pandemic, man. And it's just a blessing because so many people in the restaurant game are closing stores, and here we are opening new ones. But it's a chef-driven concept. Our chef, Dennis Martinez, he's from Cuba. He essentially curated our whole menu. And it's all the classics. We do have a Cuban sandwich. We have the lechon, the completas, all the different empanadas, right?
Yeah.
But it's long story short, our thing was, look, you can come to a restaurant, fast casual, under $100, you can feed your family, and you can get a chef-driven meal that's not on the strip. Mm-hmm. It ain't going to cost you an arm and a leg to have something on real silverware, plated, that's kind of like got some love and tender care behind it, and it's not going to, empty your pockets.
It's good.
So anyway, you tried it. I appreciate you.
It's good. Yeah, because I was telling, he told me about it, and I go, oh, he goes, this one's right by you, and I was like, cool. And then I hit him up one day. I go, look, where's it at? And he told me, and we went. Me and my wife went, and then we fucked it up, and then we kept going back because there's this like a lemonade slushy machine.
You already know. You already know.
Good.
That shit's crack,
dude. That shit's so good.
It's crack, right?
I go. Sometimes I'll pull over real quick
because
it's right there. You're driving down Eastern right here, and I was like, let me just go in real quick and grab this little drink real quick because it's hell in there, and then get and the bananas are like right there by the
pastelitos, the panada. We have all that stuff, man. So it's cool. You can come get a meal. You can come get the little grab and go items. We also have the cheese rolls. Our cheese rolls only $1.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, man. You come in there, you buy 10 of them things.
Empanadas. What's the dessert that I like there? The leche cake.
You love the tres leches.
Yeah.
We also have the leche flan or the flan, what they call. But yeah, man, it's like, look, bro, under $100, you can bring 4 or 5 people. You can have a to-go bag to go. Mm-hmm. You got some real food, real ingredients, and everything is homemade. It's like mama's cooking, and so that was kind of our angle behind it. But to my point, I got Earth Cafes and other concepts where Fat Sal's, where it's like it's a brand.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right. people are looking at their phone to figure out where they make the decision. They don't really care about the quality of food. They want to tag their homeboy and say, well, I'm at Fat Sal's or I'm at Earth Cafe, right? It's not about the quality, which is sad. But that's how people that's how people shop now.
Fat
it's all brand, a cult brand following.
Yeah. Because that's like you said too, like Coke is basically no more just like it's the what's the word adjective or the adverb?
Totally.
Not the adjective.
Totally.
Adverb is
You
actually,
say Coke to the Coke is a flavor in the company.
yeah.
Coke is not.
That's just ordering a soft drink. In
Yeah.
this world.
Right,
It's
exactly.
literally
It turned
like
into
for
that.
the Midwesterners that call it pop. It's like, if I go somewhere, it's like, oh, I want a Coke. It's
There
like,
you go.
Yeah.
And the genius behind it. I mean, Uber did the same thing with obviously redefine the tax. I don't know. You say you're gonna call something. You're gonna call Uber.
Call Uber, even though you're getting a lift,
Right.
even though you're getting
That's
a
what I'm saying.
yeah,
You
it's
still
like
gonna say Uber.
it's just the name recognition and just like now it's in the society's zeitgeist of that's how we say things now and that's how we use
100%.
it. Yeah, and it's like you need something like that.
So no, man. I mean, I just think it's just the way marketing is and branding. They've got it all figured out, man. It's all about that.
It's crazy because now that we have this, we all see it because we all kind of like know how the sausage is made. Even kids know how the sausage is made. To like when you watch something now, you're like, oh, this is so fucking product placed everywhere. It's like a big goddamn commercial. Like I can't. This ain't even a movie anymore.
Totally.
Yeah.
So now I see both sides, right? I see, what I built brands and Drew knows I call it ghetto marketing, right? Here's the thing. If you're looking from an ROI standpoint, what some of these people are asking financially, from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense. Like you're not going to get, let's say somebody says, hey, give me $50,000, I'll wear your hat, Zach. Okay. Even if I gave you $50,000 for whoever that person may be, whatever, LeBron, Tom Brady, and this goes on and on. I'm not going to be able to necessarily be able to recoup that off of that deal.
Yeah.
So it's almost like what I would be better to do is the ghetto marketing analogy where, hey, I'm just going to let me give away $50,000 worth of product.
Yeah.
And I can hit way more people than if I just paid, insert person's name to wear this hat. And so that's where I'm at. And then the other part of that conversation, part B, is the modern day customer is so much more intelligent and in tuned with their celebrity. So back in the day, we growing up, we saw Jordan on TV and that was it.
Or you had the magazines.
That's all you saw.
That's it.
You didn't have Jordan's personal IG. You couldn't comment on what
Right.
you didn't have a say in Michael Jordan. You watch a game, he sticks his tongue out, he scores 55 points, and you take your ass home. Nowadays, fuck you, Jordan. I can text you, fuck you, Jordan, you bald head, motherfucker.
There's a chance you might see it.
You feel you got a voice in this shit because of social media.
Yeah.
So now, long story short, customers become more in tune and smarter with the celebrity because they feel like they know this person because of Instagram or social media. But back in the day, all you had was a Gatorade commercial or a Nike commercial, him sticking his tongue out or him doing something on the court. And so long story short, it's hard to fake it because they see your IG, they see whatever. It's like, man, I've never seen Carlos wear this shit.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen Carlos without a hat, right? I've never seen Carlos, like I know he's a Raider fan. And so now when you're trying to sell them something that's not organic,
They're like,
customers know.
yeah, we got you.
So that's why I love the ghetto marketing because like I do the psychology behind it and I know it's true to you. I'm not gonna send you Atlanta Falcons sweatshirt,
Yeah.
right? Like I know what you like and now that's the real organic purchase.
Yeah, the what was it? Almost like Bezos, how his model was. I remember it was like I don't want like $500 from this one person. I want $1 from 500 people because that
Rockefeller too.
Yeah. So it's like definitely like because it's like just almost like with like even like stand-up comedy too that people always talking about like all you need is 1% of the world to like you and you're fucking set.
When you build that brick by brick, man, you might have a little bob and weave, a little stumble, but ain't shit they can do. Over time, ain't shit they can do. People already in that ecosystem, they already sold.
Yeah. By the way, too, thanks for the hat, man. Like I said too,
I appreciate you, and I'm glad you enjoy it, man.
Yeah,
that's what I love, man.
Rocking it, man. I like, and it's so sick, man. Like I said too, like you said, the city representing the city and the city.
Simple. And that's what it's all about, man. Just kind of pull on that heartstring piece of whatever you love, the city. That's what it's all about. We don't even put even our company logos on the hat. It's all just your city.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like,
we all it's all about the city. Now inside the hat there's a QR code or whatever. But I just feel people like so many brands. Like I'm not trying to pimp you to be a billboard for me. Just say you'll find out. If you know.
Yeah.
Right, you'll find out. It's subtle. It's subtle. It's in your face, but subtle.
Yeah, and it's good though, man. It's like good quality. It goes. It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Thanks,
and And people do comment on it too. Like I was telling him, like we were talking about last time about how I had the fools from LA, and they were like they're Raider fans, and they seen it in the back seat. They're like, "Oh shit, well, I've seen this hat. Where'd you get it?" Da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Oh man, it's a little secret squirrel shit."
No, for sure. But
yeah, you can't.
The word of mouth is powerful.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, like as I scroll too, it's so funny because I recognize it now because now I know what it is exactly. What it is. It's like you said, I see other either celebrities or baseball players or basketball or football players wearing it. I was like, oh shit, I know that. I know.
Exactly,
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, and then like I said, these people got all the money in the world, so it just humbles me, man. Like they made an active choice to put my product on, right? Like you got more money than God. You can decide what you want to buy, what you want to wear. And so for them to, like literally this hat the other day, Michael Vick had this hat on. And it's like, look, man, like you obviously got people sending you stuff. You got all this type of stuff, but it's just you made a choice to rock a
You were
brand.
like, because it's also too, man, it's a good look because it's less is more.
Correct.
So it's like, oh, boom, it's straight to the point. It's what it is, the color. And then all of a sudden, it's, you can match it with all kind of things too, blah, 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 just nice and smooth.
That's the thing.
Because I'll see some hats too where I'm like, it's a sick hat, but I don't know what I'd wear with that.
Correct. It's a lifestyle brand. It's not just something you wear to the game. It's quite frankly something you can wear all the time. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then, that's what we hear from players. The fit of the hat is on point, like how it physically fits on their head. And then also, too, you got to realize these people are employees at the end of the day. They may have a huge paycheck, but they still work for a company. So you just like you go to work. You don't want to wear your uniform outside of work. You're like, I just clocked out. I want to be Carlos. I want to be myself. Yeah. And so that's what we provide for people. You're not going to wear your 49er hat or your Raider hat to the club. You like, I want to be me tonight. I want to put an outfit together. Yeah. And that's what we allow people to do. You can flip colors with it. You can flip styles with it. It's like a one-stop shop within one company, right? And I think that's how we were able to resonate.
That'll work. And it's not just hats, right? You said
no. So we started out, like I said, baby. We're a pandemic baby. We started out then. So at that point, the whole country shut down. The only way we could kind of give product to people was a hat. Like I would have known your shirt size or hoodie size or whatever. So we started out just with hats first, but now we transitioned into a full-fledged lifestyle brand. We got hoodies, clothing. We even have player collections where people like Trent Williams have their own essentially clothing line. Like in Debo has his own line within our company, kind of like what you've seen Jordan Brand do with Nike. It's Nike, but you have your own line, and within that line the products are endless. But that's after we had a relationship and we kind of okay, what is Carlos like? I'm not just guessing or throwing a Hail Mary and praying you wear it. This is a real relationship collaboration, quite frankly, with the product and then the content on how we bring it to life. And so that's the key, because Nike ain't doing that. Nike says, okay, look, I'm gonna cut a deal with the league, and God bless y'all. They're gonna take care of the 1% or whoever those people are. Yeah. But the majority of these people, they just get lost in the sauce, and it's like, look, man, you got to wear it anyway because the league mandates it. So why am I gonna cut a deal with you, or why am I gonna send you an extra care package? You already got to wear the stuff anyway. Yeah. And so that's where we came in, and we give players a voice because it literally is two equity pieces. Your contract, your game check is one piece of the pie. But if you go on that press conference and wear a product, that's technically a whole other stream of income that they're not benefiting from, which we provide a solution for. So, okay, Trent, you go on that press conference, you put on my hat, or whoever the case may be. Now we can talk turkey based on that's a total different. That has nothing to do with your game check today. That's a merchandise check. And so that's what we've been able to kind of, players who get the equity piece, they understand that, and that's what we've been able to do successfully.
You're talking about like the people that don't get represented, like the other guys. Running of that little clip I just recently seen with the Raven. I think he's the center. I can't remember. You seen what I'm talking about?
Oh, who's that guy, Drew?
Was that him? Yeah, when he was talking to Myles Garrett, and he was like, "Hey, I know I'm a nobody."
It was the right tackle, Roger Rosegarten.
Oh, yeah.
He's a second-round pick from Washington.
Yeah. You seen the clip I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Where he like just tells Myles Garrett, "Hey, I know I'm nobody." And he goes, and he was like, "Man, you in the playoffs, man. You doing well. You guys playing good. You was somebody, man. I got you. Dude, that's such a great clip.
It is, but I also hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Because, bro, you guys are division rivals. Fuck that, man.
Don't try to be buddy.
I want to go back to you want to kick your division rivals' ass. Like the New York Giants should hate the Philadelphia Eagles. It should burn them alive that they got Saquon and he ran them into the NFC Championship. All this buddy AAU bullshit, I fucking hate.
You want to go,
man? Because the fans feel how Drew feels.
Well, I mean, I just go back to that's old school football, man. Long. It's like we ain't doing this 7-on-7 shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're going up against Myles Garrett, who Myles Garrett to me other than Max. I think Max is the best DN or pass rusher, whatever you want to call it. But Myles Garrett's a freak of nature, bro. Like there's all this jersey swap shit. Like, dude, do that shit on your own time, bro. Don't be out there like playing like, oh, I know I'm nobody, bro. You're a 2nd round draft pick, bro. It's not like you're an undrafted guy that's out there that like because you're on they're on their 5th leg and it's like you're undrafted, bro. Stop. You're a 2nd round pick. You went to UW, like.
And you balling, and you a starter.
And you started year one.
Put some respect on your own name.
Yeah, bro.
Well,
It was like secondhand embarrassment for him. Bro, you're a 2nd round pick starter for the Baltimore Ravens, who are like, a juggernaut themselves.
You in the playoffs, Myles Garrett ain't.
Yeah.
The league is soft.
Yeah.
It's a great video because that's kind of what they wanted to go towards, and that's what they're getting.
Right.
Correct.
So it's like that's all the NFL is. Like they're. I mean, I hate to say it.
NBA too.
NBA is worse than that.
Oh, way worse.
And that's LeBron's fault.
Correct.
LeBron turned the NBA into AAU.
Correct.
With all these super teams and all that shit. Because before, when it was MJ was like, cool, you want to play with me? Bring your ass to Chicago.
That's what I'm about to say. And then you know what it is when you see me on the court. It ain't nobody buddy.
Tom Brady was like that. He
Right.
those things.
Same
He
thing,
was like,
same
I'm not your friend.
mentality.
You guys
I wanna
have
beat
friends.
you.
Yeah, I want to beat you and stuff like that. But now it's all, like everyone's can't hit hard. You got quarterback can play for 20 years now because he's never touched.
Correct.
You got
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Matter of fact, do you remember that one year when they had it was I want to say it was the Browns and it was the Bengals and the Steelers. It was a Monday Night Football, and it was a violent ass game.
Talking about the one with Burfict.
I think Burfict hit.
That when Carson
hit
Palmer
AB.
got his ACL tour.
It was I know Burfict hit Antonio Brown,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was that one.
and then some. Is it the same?
Might
same
have been
game?
the same game.
Same
Yeah.
game, yeah, because they made an apology. They issued an apology and they said, "Hey, we want to apologize to everyone that was viewed on Monday night's game. NFL, we're sorry about that. That's not how the game we wanted to be played." And it's like that's exactly how I remember the game.
Yeah,
being
that's what people want to see. Well, look, and I grew up again a New York Giants fan, and I always hated the Eagles growing up. But you go to an Eagles game, bro, they don't want to see these people hugging after the game.
No.
You see that I can do the
Bro,
guy.
they throw batteries at children at the link. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's real. Like
Correct.
so if we're on that level, you guys got to play on that level.
Correct.
If your fans are on that level,
You
you got to
ready to
play
play
on that
black
level.
hole,
Yeah,
bro.
and
yeah,
it's
another
exactly,
level.
Same thing.
and it's nothing like that now. Like in
think-
No,
Vegas.
because Vegas wants to charge you $20,000 for a tailgate experience in the parking lot.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
there you
so
go.
stupid as fuck. And that was another thing too. When I went to the game and I was like, I went to buy something. They go, we're a cashless stadium.
hate that,
And then
too.
I'm like, well, that kills off 90% of the fans that are Raiders because
100%.
they're all fucking drug dealers. They deal with cash. The fuck? Like so that we can't really go anymore.
Ain't nobody swiping no credit card.
Yeah, ain't nobody
They're
got no
going
paper
with
trail.
those prepaid visas.
yeah. So it's like it's crazy because I mean they've driven it to that point of just like we need to make it softer and you know what though I mean I hate to say it but I want to say that it had to do a lot with the direction of like hey we need to get women to watch this.
Yeah,
And
that
maybe.
part,
and then
that part, and tourists too, because think about it, like I'm really trying to appeal to
Oh.
that person who's coming from Philly, New York, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. You get an extra night in Vegas. Typically, you would come and you leave Sunday. You check out Sunday.
Yeah.
Right now, if it's a Monday night game, you stay until Tuesday. If it's a Sunday game, regardless of what time it is Sunday, you stay until Monday night.
yeah.
But even then, like I can remember, like I grew up in the D.C. area, and I would go to Giants, Redskins games, and I didn't care. If someone wanted to get, I got in a fight at a Redskins
Yeah.
Giants game.
Yeah.
It's happened. You know
Yeah,
what I
we were
mean?
at a
Like,
game and I was like, I do miss it, man. I miss like fuck because there was people, there was Charger fans, talking shit, and I was like, man, I'm too old. But I was like, I still got it to be like, I'd love to fuck somebody up
I
right
get
now.
with it.
And I was like, yeah, because I was like, but I already put my time in already. I did my time over in Oakland. I can't be doing my time here now because now it's a whole different legs now.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I feel like an old man. It's like, like now I'm an agent and stuff. So like, I don't have any like real team allegiance other than that,
Mm-hmm.
And so like, and the Giants are terrible. And so like, obviously don't care, but
Yeah.
yeah, man, like when I was in college, I was a maniac. I've gotten in fights over football games. Are you
Totally.
kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
And it was expected.
Bring that back.
It
Make
was expected. It was what
Yeah,
it was.
it's like, as a Giants fan, if you were going to Philly, you know that, like, hey, man, like, you have your buddy stand behind you when you're in line at the urinals because otherwise someone's going to come piss on the back of your jersey.
Yeah.
It really happens.
I
So-
see. I was at the playoff game, Raiders and the Dolphins, and this is when they fucking stumped them. It was like 24-0 or some shit. It was the first round. And dude had a Miami, only guy in a Miami fucking jersey on. Someone he was pissing, and they fucking cracked the shit out of him. He went on the ground, and then everyone took a piss on him. Bop, bop, bop. And I
Oh,
was like,
man. See,
I go,
that's
this is wild.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, I had been probably about
And the Dolphins are also harmless,
16,
too.
17. Yeah. But we
so
hated the
cute.
Dolphins at that point a lot, too, because that was the, like, Jason Taylor era and
Yeah,
what's
Zach
his name?
Thomas.
And Zach Thomas.
Yeah,
and
that era.
they kept beating us, too, over there. And because they do the trick where they make us wear the black jersey in the fucking sun. And you guys,
They
they
put you
get
in the wrong.
yeah.
They still do that. They put you in the heat.
Yeah.
They still do that at Hard Rock now.
I mean, look, I think that it's scum, that, like, again, I go back to the Eagles just because, like, them, some of the
Well, they're in
things
the
they
news this
do.
week. I mean,
Well,
they're-
yeah,
yeah.
that guy, the DEI guy that got fired. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. I love that.
Yeah, he got fired for talking all that shit to that Packer fan.
But, I mean, look, it's like that's extreme, but, like, you know what? That's some of these fan bases. That is what it is.
it is what it is. And it was our fan base here, too. For like the thing, too, we got fucked off because during the Patriots game, I
remember that.
That kid was talking hella shit to the Raider fan. And then finally, when we started with the what's his name? That went crazy. I don't know, he went crazy. We just had an episode. Jones's brother.
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones. He got he's on our team right now. He's a wide receiver.
What you think happened to him, man?
Jacoby Myers.
He smoked. I want to say, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that he got a hold of what's that? It's like legal weed, like
the Whippets?
Nah, it's
Stevia or not stevia.
nah,
That's
it's
the
like
sugar.
CBD?
something 9 or something I don't remember. But it's like fake. It's like spice or whatever. And
Okay, I remember that.
Because remember, he like went to like a police station and like turned himself in or something like that. And like,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it
that
was.
shit's terrible for you. That
He ain't in the
spice
league
stuff.
no more. It's over.
Nah,
he
he
was-
made a good amount of money, and his brother, his brothers both, one of his brothers, Bones Jones, the other one's in the league or was in the league for a while, so they're straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was him. He got that pass or the fumble or the backward pass, and then the Raider fans started getting into the Patriots fans' face, and then they recorded only that, and then they made an apology. They banned the Raider fan
They
for
like,
life.
brought him back,
And then they brought the kid back and gave him all kind of gear and fucking all this. So it's like, it is. I mean, that's what they do now. It's a soft league now. And a case in point, I mean, you've seen Patrick Mahomes this past weekend and the calls that he was getting, and he didn't even get touched. And then when he flopped, he's starting to flop now, and it's starting to, and the announcers are like, dog, we're tired of this shit.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about I heard a couple that's going off. Like, how do you play defense on this?
Yeah.
Like announcers.
Well, that
siding-
referee crew, the Chiefs are 6-0 with that referee crew
They
this
dapping
year.
them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? We
Yeah.
catch. I mean, it's crazy.
Look, I
lot
mean,
of
there's an
kids.
obvious. Patrick Mahomes to me is, if he's not the best, he's top 3. I like Josh Allen the best, whatever. But if Mahomes isn't the best, he's top 3, and he gets Jordan treatment, and he, there's clearly like some form of bias, whether it's coming from the league, whether it's coming from Vegas betting, whatever it is. This whole three-peat push is a real thing.
Yeah.
And I know that like Taylor Swift has a little bit to do with it because they show her so many times per game.
Yeah.
Trump was at one of the games and they didn't show him.
Him
As
as
much,
much as Taylor.
yeah.
Crazy.
He was at that Monday night game with the Steelers. They didn't show it. Made like what 10 seconds. They'll go to Taylor Swift
And that was right before the election. Or what?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking
right.
about. Perfect time to.
right.
To keep putting that camera on the cat.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, definitely. She influences it. And Travis Kelce's talking about retiring. This some like
He
chatter.
should.
Yeah.
If you're talking about it, you ain't about it.
Yeah. Well,
What do you think? I mean, he had a hell of a game last week. From a performance
Playoff
standpoint.
Travis has been different than regular season Travis.
All
I
day
think
long.
that he's dragging ass during the regular season because he's done it. He's done it for a long time at a high level, and now he's got a girlfriend who's more famous and richer than he is, and he loves the celebrity aspect of
Yeah.
it. You can tell he really likes it.
he's been like, he had a reality TV show, right? To have a
Yeah.
dating reality. Like,
Right.
he's always been like, I want to be famous.
Right.
Yeah. But it was like,
so
dude,
now he's like with the most famous
Yeah.
woman in the world, which would suck. But he obviously really enjoys it, and so and now he turns it on when he needs to because they want to get the three-peat. Because if they get the three-peat, he's done.
Yeah, and I seen this stat, and the stat said that in the playoffs in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs the Chiefs opponents have been flagged 48 times, and the Chiefs have been flagged 47 times, and they were like, so it's kind of it's still even. But I thought in my head, I was like, but that doesn't make sense because to me. I've noticed this about when the Chiefs get flagged. They will get flagged, and they'll get flagged off plays that are by the end zone. So it's only like it would be a 15-yard penalty, but now it's
Right.
only half the distance of the goal, which
Right.
makes it turn out to be like a 5-yard penalty.
Correct.
And I've seen that so many times on their side of the.
I don't know the number, but I mean, you could look it up. It's crazy. So, like, Patrick Mahomes has had more interceptions turned over due to penalties. Like, the second closest is Josh Allen, and Josh Allen was like 7, and like Mahomes was like in the 30s or something, maybe even something crazier, maybe 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, we could Google it, but it's like
I've seen
it's an eye-opening statistic.
that little clip too where that one ref gave them an extra down against the Bengals, and how they did you see it? You know what I'm talking about, Nikki? You seen that clip?
Yeah, it's messy.
Who do you have in this in Washington and Philly?
Washington.
Washington.
Not
Yep.
ooh.
What's the spread?
Now you're not bet on
know.
you're not bet on experience.
Nope.
Okay.
Washington's cranking right now. I think that. Yeah, I think.
By the way,
Washington-
all his picks hit last week.
Every
I
single
mean,
one of them.
every single pick hit. And it was more
even
last
down
week.
to the
He
Bears
knows what he's
coach.
doing. Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah,
called it.
he said that
He called
Ben
it.
Johnson was
He
gonna-
said he would love Ben Johnson came to Vegas, but then he said Ben Johnson is going to Chicago. Like, that's where he ends up. But he would selfishly love if Ben Johnson came to.
Yeah.
And it happened just the way he said. So you say Washington over Philly.
Yep, Washington, then Buffalo over KC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say.
Yes.
I would say over.
I just feel like this whole thing is rigged with Mahomes.
100%.
Look,
So
the
as
Buffalo,
much as I want to agree, and I'm praying.
you already know I have to go Buffalo.
Yeah, you got a horse in the race. But I just see Mahomes. Now, what I will give him is the baseball sidewinders, the
Oh,
fall
man,
down,
the street
the
ball.
passes
Yeah,
he
I'll
made.
give him that.
Yeah.
That's almost like how James Harden,
But Josh does the
created a
same
step
thing.
back. He does
Josh is way bigger and way more durable
all
than
day long.
Mahomes.
Oh yeah,
Josh is like 6'5", like
Oh, yeah.
235, will run through dudes and like
Correct.
still like do the sidearm baseball throw, and like Josh can throw the ball the length of the football field. So can Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to be a fun game.
in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
who you got?
I'm taking Bills. I wish I knew the spread, but I'm taking Bills. And I out of the Washington, I'd like Washington to win, but I think Philly might win. And I think I want Philly because I think they probably have the better chance if KC does make it to the Super Bowl. I want them to have the hardest road as possible to get to that three-peat.
Okay, now let's backtrack. Why can't Lamar get through? And that game really wasn't his fault. I mean, obviously he's gonna take the hit for it.
I mean,
but like, why can't Baltimore push through? Charm City, what's going on?
I don't know. I like Lamar, but like he's a little smaller. He's due to miss a couple of games a year. But I mean, look, he balled in Buffalo. And the reality is if Mark Andrews doesn't, if he catches that 2-point conversion, which I mean, dude, he should be hitting up Butterfingers for a sponsorship deal after that. For real.
They got him right now on LinkedIn looking for a job.
Bro, yeah. But no,
I'm telling you,
he
they-
fumbled it
Damn.
earlier in the
That's
game.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, so I mean, Lamar did everything he could to put the team on his back, and that was
knows?
the supporting cast.
Do you see Lamar staying in Buffalo? I mean, in Baltimore?
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
He'll be
Now,
Raven for life.
a part of me says this too, right? It is a business. You got the gold teeth, you got this and that. Like,
I hear you.
Is when we talk about this conversation came up in the MVP race. Is this somebody who you want to market the league?
Be the face of the league, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he obviously didn't drop them balls, Mark Andrews did, but that's a conversation. Like when we play this matchup, Mahomes looks good, Josh Allen looks good. Like it's a movie script.
He's a two-time MVP, right?
Right. It's the hero, the nemesis. It's this whole good cop, bad cop. He is a two-time. Oh, I don't know. I know he's
of
won
at least
MVP.
one.
I think
Yeah.
this year would be the
It's
back-to-back two-time,
Oh,
if I'm
okay.
not
To
mistaken.
me, it's got to be Josh.
Who was number one pick last year?
Caleb Williams.
That's right, Chicago.
There
That's
it is,
right.
Chicago.
That's right.
But see, I think Josh in Buffalo has done more with less. They jettisoned Stephon Diggs, right? And now they got Keon Coleman in the second round. But beyond that, like most people can't name any other wide receivers on
I'm
there.
with you.
Except for one.
Mac Hollins.
Oh, yeah.
I love Mac Hollins.
Ex-Raider.
Mac Hollins is like my mom's favorite player other than Alec.
Okay, so tell me. Tell me why though. Let's talk about
He's
Mac.
such a character. He's him, bro. He's original. Like that guy doesn't wear shoes. He doesn't go up elevators. He came in last week at the snow game wearing an open Hawaiian shirt with a lei with some suntan lotion on his nose.
No shoes.
No shoes.
So my boy Mark does security. About 2 years ago, we did whatever. He had like a private party for Denzel Perryman, and he invited me to go with him. Just, hey Zach, just hang out, whatever. Long story short, Mac Hollins shows up at the party, no shoes. I seen that firsthand. It was like a cold night, like right now. And I'm like,
He's
bro,
just such like an original character,
100%.
and he's never been a star anywhere. He's always been kind of been like a fifth or sixth wide receiver, special teams guy. But he's 6'4".
Oh, he's big
And
dude.
Josh loves him.
He ain't no slouch.
Right.
And
So,
he does.
I mean,
he catches great
Oh, my
passes.
God. He
does.
And he's like so clutch. It's like, how did he get that? Why aren't we giving it to him more?
Does anybody know why he doesn't do the shoes?
Well, because I think he said
Somebody say it right.
I don't really.
It's almost
know.
like when Kanye had a fucked up haircut.
Yeah.
It was like I'm trying to make a point here that I don't always
Some of
need a
it
fresh haircut.
has to deal with like grounding yourself to the
Yeah.
earth. I know he's like
That.
very kind of like hippie-ish and stuff, but like he does these things on Instagram. It's like how to fold your shirts like the right way, and he does all these different like how to clean out your laundry machine once a year. He does all these like
Yeah.
practical things
Yeah,
that you would never think of, but like it's like cool. It's like his brand.
just centering a lot
Being
of centering.
himself.
Yeah,
Being
Yeah,
himself
just
with-
being, and that's cool. And so
Still.
yeah. And is Jalen hurt? Did he got hurt last game or?
It was kind of like he talked shit at the end. Like he's like, I played all right. So you kind of told the reporter like, you figure out how I'm feeling. But yeah, he went down, and obviously a couple of games he's missed already this season because of that same injury.
Yeah,
yeah, he's going to play though.
yeah.
Oh,
he gonna take a shot and get it back in
Quick.
there. Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, no. I was because I was watching that game because I was in Sedona, and like I said, like I've never been to Sedona before. I didn't
How
know.
was it?
Dude? People say like
great
they're like,
things.
yeah, they're always like, oh, it's so beautiful, it's so pretty. It's like the Napa Valley of Arizona, and because I lived up in the area of Sacramento, like in Napa Valley and shit like that. So I went, and it's fucking pretty as fuck, man.
is, it's cool.
Dude. It's so gorgeous. And like you look, it's like you're in the Grand Canyon, and then it's like all these like good little restaurants and. The sunsets are amazing, and it almost feels like you're in a rich area where like the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote live. It's crazy, man. And I was just I had to do a show there at their theater, and we were doing it's a movie theater, but they do everything there.
Correct.
So it's really hard to do stand up in those kind of like elements. People think that stand up comedy can be done anywhere, but it's like there's a lot of
They
things.
do it everywhere out here though.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's not good, because it's like the intangibles are. There's a lot of stand up science that goes behind getting people to laugh and the manipulation of the whole room, and we got to have it all dark and all black so everyone can look straight forward to the to the stage because you need your attention. But it's funny because like in the movie theater, I'm doing the set and they're laughing, but the laughs go away so fast.
Correct.
And then it dawned on me, I'm in a soundproof room doing stand up. So
Right, so what did you expect?
so as soon as they laugh, the wall just sucks it in and sucks it up. And I was like, I was like, you guys are having a good time, right? I just to reassure
That's like
myself.
a bit in and of itself.
Yeah, I kept telling, because I started saying that too, and I told them, I go, yeah, we're in a movie theater in this thing, and that's when I started telling them. They started laughing at that, and then so I just had a really good set with hanging out and talking shit, and they were really fun. And then like I was at Stir Crazy all weekend at Glendale. And Stir Crazy is like one of my favorite clubs out there. It's it's funny because it's right next door to the Arizona Cardinals, the State Farm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a really fun area, really nice area. But I like doing stand up in Arizona because they get
Arizona's cool.
Yeah, they get it. Everyone's just fucking.
How often do you go?
I probably hit Arizona 2 to 3 times a year.
Okay.
That's awesome.
When's your next time out there?
I don't even know. I just
Okay.
I might be in Tucson.
Tucson's fun. I got a good steakhouse down there for you too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
I hit up the dude to get back over there at Laughs, and it's a really good club for like,
spot.
yeah, it's called Laughs in Tucson, and I recorded a set there just because I wanted to work on some stuff, and I recorded the set. I'm like, damn, this is really good. This crowd was hot, so it's like you get to like work on shit because you feed on vibes. You feed on like the energy of the room, and it's like, oh, so I like a joke I had. I was watching it, and I wrote it and it only had like 3 beats to it. But being in that room, it added another 4 beats because I kept going in and going in and going in. I go, ooh, I like this actually. I'm gonna keep this part and keep that in that tone. But I want to get back to that club. But I do like Arizona a lot. Do you guys travel? You travel much too?
I do. I mean, I'm obviously on the road a lot, but yeah, I mean, Phoenix is kind of on tap. I want to hit it more. Mm-hmm. I want to hit it more.
There's like
Scottsdale's
4.
the best.
Yeah, Scottsdale. Yeah.
Scottsdale's the best.
There used to be so there was a comedy club in Scottsdale, and it was called the Comedy Spot. But it was so funny because like I would go to do that club, and there's a place that you could go eat down around the corner called Cheeseburgers and Cold Beer. And
Sounds great.
Yeah, and then there's another place called Corner Pizza, and it's on the corner. And then there's above it, it's a bar, and it's called Second Story Bar. And I was on stage, and I go, "You guys don't give a fuck what you name your places out here. It's all like what it is."
Coordinates.
Yeah. And I was like, "You guys are at the Comedy Spot," and they all started fucking. They go, "We never noticed that. That's so funny." I go, "Yeah, dude." I go, "It's nuts." And I go, "But I get it, man. It's hot as fuck here sometimes. You guys can't have a meeting and try to figure out like, let's just get the fuck out of here. What do we have? All right, we have cold burgers and beer. That's what we're calling
Then we're
ourselves.
going
Fuck
to the Comedy Spot.
fuck branding."
Hell no, I'm talking about ecosystem. Fuck that. I'm hungry.
Yeah,
what you got? What you got? I'm thirsty. What's up?
Yeah.
No, for sure.
But I want to go to Tucson because I want to go back because I want to go check out Tombstone because I've never been there before, and it's like apparently like only like an hour and a half drive south, and so I want to check that out. Do you have a favorite city or state or place?
I don't know.
No,
man.
that's a good question. I never asked you that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I used to think New York City was the coolest city in the world, and now I think it's a total shithole. Same thing with LA. When I, for East Coast kid, move out to LA 2008, I thought it was really cool, and I got to see the city die, and so I thought that place sucked. I like the Midwest. To be honest with you, I really fuck with the Midwest.
Niggas from Chicago or Illinois.
And then Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
I have a great time every time I go to Charleston, and some of my best friends live down there. And, I really love it.
My boy just moved down there.
Really?
A lot of
It's
people,
the best.
That's the second time. Well, that's the third time this week I've heard about South Carolina.
South Carolina's cool. Charleston specifically. I've never been a Miami guy. I've been to Miami a few times. Fucking hated it. Food sucks. Everyone's on coke. Like it's so expensive.
They got the autograph too. Autograph too. That shit kill you.
Yeah, and like everyone down there is like OnlyFans or this or that. It's like enough, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can't meet like a normal person down there. Lauderdale's probably cool. Brady'd be able to tell you, but like
okay.
Brady lives in Lauderdale, and but I would say for me, like Charleston, and then like just anywhere in the Midwest. The people in the Midwest are so nice, and like they've got great food and everything. And low key, dude, I'm like Midwest skinny. You know what I mean? So I can go out there and like.
He said, so I fucks with it.
Yeah.
You said Pittsburgh last time we talked.
So I haven't been, but I
Right.
want to go to Pittsburgh. Like I would love to go to Pittsburgh and go to a game. I would love if Pittsburgh drafted Michael Ford Jr. or Logan Zernich, and we had a reason to go out to Pittsburgh to go to a game like that. That'd be the best.
I liked Pittsburgh. We were talking about that last time, huh? Like but then I'm a Raider fan, so as soon as I get off the plane, it's the fucking statue of the Immaculate Reception, and I'm like, man, motherfucker.
Like, again, I've never been, but like, like they probably have like a nice pop in it. We were talking before we got going about because Zach's gonna go with me out to the combine to Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Indianapolis, to me, I love it. Like I go for the combine every year, but like, dude, there's like a square mile where it's like nothing but bars and nice restaurants, and like St. Elmo's is one of my favorite restaurants in the world, one of the best things. And like, bro, so I'll put it to you like this: I don't eat anything that comes out of the water, right? They're known for their shrimp cocktail, but bro, they have these little rolls there, so I get the rolls with the cocktail sauce, and it is fire, like to the point where like it'll clear your nostrils, bro. Like if you have sinus, like bro, like, but it's so good, and like. The service is so good, and like that's one thing I feel like that got lost on Vegas during COVID. Vegas used to be hospitality central. The service out here, it's dog shit.
Dude, it's so bad.
Tipping, it don't even matter.
There's no smile, no how are you, or none of it.
No hookups because you're local. Not even on parking. Like
Terrible.
It's trash.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and I've also noticed too a little bit too. But here is that there's no courtesy. Like even with like people,
No,
Like,
it's okay.
if you're walking in the grocery store, like, no one says, excuse me, or I'm sorry, or any of that. It's just very,
Right.
it's almost we're playing chicken, and you're trying to call me a bitch if I don't move it for you. And it's like, but you're over here, and like, and I get I feel disrespected, and like, I got to remember, I'm like, I got to stop thinking, it's because as a
West Coast thing.
recovering alcoholic, it's in your head. It's I'm the one that's fucking crazy. They're not crazy, so I have to calm down and clean my side of the street. But fucking sometimes, man, the other day, case in point, the other day I was at Little Caesars and I opened the door for someone because he had a whole bunch of pizzas in his hands, and I opened the door for him, and he walks out and he keeps walking, and then I go, "You're welcome." and oh man, and as soon as I said it, I go, "Why'd you do that? I don't need to be
that's
doing
real
that."
though. I mean, dude,
No,
you
that's
know,
common
we-
courtesy. Home training.
But then
We
he
talk
said
about that all the time.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, "Yeah,
I call you out for that thing.
yeah." And then I feel like I got to start teaching people how to be nice, and then that's my problem. Where it's like I need to not correct other people, correct myself. But fuck, dude, I can't. The driving
Part
here
of that's
too.
like a manners thing, and people that's
100%.
just like
You ain't
lost
crazy.
now.
There's nothing wrong with what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
That's
common sense.
Yeah, it takes zero effort to say thank you for someone to hold the door or like, like there's just so
Anything kind.
Yeah, but like common courtesy is like lost now. People are just fucking dickheads. Like, like even in terms of like a text back or like whatever, like, like it's very like there's certain things that take so little effort that like it blows your mind when
Yeah.
they don't like reciprocate and like
I was gonna say, do you guys ever get? I get this. I was wondering if you guys ever get this. Like, if you don't, because like I won't tip if I have to get up and go to the counter and order my shit.
yeah.
So y'all go, then I'll go.
It depends, though. It depends. It depends.
I got trauma.
Right.
I got trauma across the board. So I want to get y'all's.
So
y'all's
sometimes
first.
I will if the courtesy's there. If I get if like, oh, it warrants it. Like, you know what? I like you. I like the time I spent with you in this little 3-minute transaction. Fuck yeah! Here, I'll give you 15%. I'll give you 20%. But if it's just just an exchange, or you just opened up a Red Bull for me, or handed me a Red Bull, I'm gonna press no. And sometimes I'll press no, and then I'll get attitude. I'll get people like all of a sudden their whole demeanor changes even more, and I'm like, hold the fuck on, why you want my tip, but you ain't even doing nothing for it.
So I think that the tipping culture is completely out of control.
Yeah.
It is so like I talk with my boys about it. They're gonna geek if they see this, like because we talk about it all the time. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like now it's like sport when they turn the little iPad around. You're like, fuck you. Zero.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's like that now. Look, if I have places that I go to like on the reg, like
Yes.
it's like my spot. Yeah, I'm tipping every time, right? But if I go somewhere like you said, and I sense any type of attitude, like, bro, you're not doing. If I gotta walk up to the counter, order, and then wait, and then go and then pick it up, bro, why am I tipping you? It's not my fault that they don't pay you what they should. That's. I'm sorry about it, bro. I
Yeah.
don't care.
If I gotta go get my silverware,
Right.
Yeah. Like, fuck all that noise.
So here we go.
Okay.
So I got 2 traumas. We'll do first is the restaurant business. The second is racial. So the first one is I'm in the restaurant business. So my whole life, I grew up in my uncle's restaurant. I'm the one washing dishes, waiting tables. I know how that game works. If somebody, God forbid, doesn't tip you, I've been on that back end of how shitty that feels. Now, obviously, that's 25 years of doing this, so a lot has changed in culture with tipping and the tip being included already, and all the little tricks that as customers, y'all are rightful to complain about, right?
Yeah.
Like, why am I tipping you if you ain't doing your job, or why am I tipping you if you ain't smiling? So it's not. It goes both ways. The person needs to do their damn job, and if they want a good tip, they need to act accordingly. But at the same time, I've been that person where I've done a great job and a motherfucker still ain't tipping.
Yeah.
That's the business part, right? Seeing it from a business owner's point of view. Second part is the racial part. So I'm a big believer in whether you think stereotypes are true or not, stereotypes exist, right? Whether you want to admit
For
it,
a
agree
reason.
with
Right.
it, whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that you gotta this stuff is the 10 Commandments, but you gotta admit that the stereotype is available. So for me as a black person, when I go to a restaurant, I don't care. I don't care what happens. I'm tipping you 20% for every maybe for every black person who didn't tip you, who walked out on you, who asked for whatever extra ketchup, hot sauce to go back. I'm proving this stereotype wrong tonight.
Yeah,
you could be an asshole,
and after this, I'm going swimming.
Yeah, you're gonna get 20% from me tonight, 100%. So that's where I'm at with it because it's like a double whammy. I've owned that restaurant, or I've been that busboy or that waiter, and I've gotten fucked. And then now I'm trying to set the tone when you come to my table. I'm pretty much tipping for every black person who maybe didn't tip you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all black people don't tip. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the stereotype exists.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my little.
European people don't tip either because over in Europe they don't do that.
I hear that, but I ain't European.
Right. Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
So I'm showing love. Here we go.
It's so funny because you said like how you said to overcompensate. It's funny because like I'll overcompensate too, like with other things because like if a girl's walking by like a hot chick or something like that, I won't look because I'm gonna be different because I don't want you to feel like you're uncomfortable and fucking walking. Or like I would always shake my keys too if like it's nighttime and dark.
There you go.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, this is where I'm 5 feet away from you. I'm always constantly saying just so you can. I'm gonna overcompensate.
Totally for your insecurity or your safety. Well,
Yeah.
It sucks. You got to do that. Drew will tell you like I'm big about time. I'm hardly ever late if I can control it. And so that's one of those things, man. Like regardless, whether it's true or not, the stereotype exists. So I'm gonna do my part to at least prove the stereotype wrong. And I feel like if everybody did that, no matter what culture, what background, or whatever, shit, you'd have the world be in a better place after a while because everybody be doing their part. I do have a funny story about my uncle and tipping. So my uncle this is the same uncle. He had a barbecue restaurant, and he was like my favorite uncle. I kind of grew up with him.
Yeah.
And so long story short, he goes to a restaurant. Same thing. Girl gave terrible service, and I was with him that day. So I'm like, you're just a kid. You kind of like, somebody you admire. You're just looking up to everything he does. And so long story, like this larger than life type personality. Like he's in Cocaine Cowboys. He's in a documentary. Played for the Dolphins. He's just this big figure, right? And so long story short, we go to this restaurant. Girl gives horrible service. Horrible. And long story short, my uncle leaves her a $300 tip. And he leaves her the tip. And obviously, face changes, a whole
Demeanor.
different person.
Yeah.
After she sees the $300 tip, she says, "Oh, thank you, no problem, whatever, sweetheart." So next day, he says, "Zach, we're going to the same goddamn restaurant." So we go to the same restaurant, and this girl literally damn near catches us in the parking lot. His name was Gerald White. Mr. White, come on, I got you. No, sweetheart, I want anybody but you to be my server.
Oh.
And so in this girl's mind, he's like, this motherfucker just left me a $300 tip yesterday, and I know I gave terrible service.
Yes.
So what is he gonna give the person who
With
gives
good service?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. And you should have seen it was like a whole magic show. And I probably was 14 or 15 at the time, but it was just the psychology of like, now that you know what you're gonna get, you're gonna treat me right. Mm-hmm. Like I'm a paying customer regardless.
Anything, yeah.
Obviously, I'm at this steakhouse. Like I can afford to be here. You're working here, and to your point, as customers, like do your damn job. Why do I have to pay you? And now you want to kiss my ass because you know what I'm gonna pay you?
Yeah.
But just do your job. If you would have done your job, you would have got $300 that night and $300 the next night.
Be
and
a
this
good
is
person.
like 1998, so it's not
Yeah.
like today's $300.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is like
Which
$1,000.
$300
Be a good
tip
Correct.
is still
but
incredible.
just the mindset of like, come on, baby girl, like.
Do you ever work at a restaurant?
Yeah, my first job was at Carrabba's. I was
Yeah.
a busboy, and I still love Carrabba's.
I do, too.
We got one on Charleston out here.
Yeah, and they got one on the Eastern too. I miss it. We'll go one day, man.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Carrabba's.
I worked at an Olive Garden.
Yeah.
It's
I think
great.
everyone should work in some facet of the food
teaches
industry.
you how to serve.
Yeah.
They teach you how to deal with people too.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
that was my first job, Woodbridge, Virginia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Busboy was cool too, man. Because Busboy is like, you don't really have to kind of deal with customers. You just fucking every day, just killing the table.
We had to bake the bread, so I had to get the like little the Carrabba's bread is fire, and I had to get the bread dough things like and put them on the thing, and I would have to wear these little gloves and put the thing, and then go take out the trash, like come back, wash your hands. You got to put in another thing. Then you got to go out. And I was hustling, man. I was like 15, like wasn't even like just old enough to work, and like. Yeah, I couldn't even drive yet. My mom would have to drop me off up there. Like,
Yeah. Nikki, did you work a restaurant?
Yeah, restaurant work was my first
What was it?
industry. It's a pancake house in like Lamont, Illinois. So that was really like small town outside of Chicago, about 45 minutes. But that stuff really like
All
that
day
teaches
long.
you work
It molds
ethic.
you.
It does.
Yeah.
100%. And if I
It
didn't have that,
also-
I'd be.
It also preps you like, yo, man, I ain't trying to do this shit forever.
Correct. I gotta get some
Yeah.
bread, 100%. But it humbles you that, hey, if God forbid,
Yeah.
because so many people nowadays, like this internet generation, they don't know how to get it off the muscle.
No.
If God forbid something happened, they think they too good to go
Yeah.
bust
Well,
this
that was-
table or bust.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the mindset. I mean,
I used to hate that in LA when you would go to like a bar or a restaurant, like the server would be like, like a chick who's blatantly pissed off that she's having to serve you because she thinks that she should be modeling or be in a movie somewhere or something like that, and she's mad the whole time. It's like, bro, like
That's not my fault.
Yeah, you got to be doing this until you're something. You know what I'm saying? Until the
100%.
next thing comes along.
well, now let me ask y'all this. I have a funny story, obviously, but long story short, what was y'all's most either funniest moment or most humiliating moment or whatever? Like we talk about dealing with customers, and obviously I got my story teed up. But if y'all don't have one, that's fine. But like Drew will tell you, like obviously I'm in the restaurant game now, but I'm just more like a solid investor, help with marketing. But at one time I had like 56 chicken restaurants, and I was the person on the ground level, like training, going from city to city, opening stores. I literally would live in cities and I'm gonna live in Seattle until y'all got everything figured out, and then after Seattle I'm gonna go to Houston and open that store. But so I saw all these different personalities, and the reason why we were so spread out is because we were in the mall food court. But long story short, the question I have before I tell my story is, what was y'all's craziest moment? What was maybe the most humiliating moment? The customer that was the biggest pain in the ass? Or just what did y'all see go down at the respective
Different jobs.
Yeah, respective restaurants. Or maybe it was a grimy story. Working in restaurants, a lot of shit goes on behind the scenes. So
Do you have one too, Nikki, at all?
anything? Y'all got any cool stories? If not, I'll tell
I mean,
mine.
man, I've worked a
think
lot
that-
of jobs, dude. So like, I mean, I think my toughest job, man, I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, dude, I've done like landscaping, and I've like repaired like. During the summer in college, we would work there was like 3 real estate companies, and we would work for them. We'd patch holes in walls, do all that stuff. We
Handyman
would
type stuff.
find
All day long.
like dildos under like beds that people just left.
People are
just
crazy.
like
When you follow them
weirdos.
home,
Yeah,
you
but
find
like
some shit.
I used to do timeshare sales like telecom. Man, I've never been told to go fuck myself so many times. But it was funny because
Did you even get your pitch out? It was like, fuck you. Like,
yeah, yeah, and it was in Myrtle Beach. I was with my best friend Tim, and we were 21-year-old kids, 22, whatever, just trying to make enough money to go to the bars at night. In Myrtle Beach, $1.50 drinks and stuff. So it was a trip. You would see some really fun. You'd get some like real characters on the phone because you're calling like the whole Eastern Sea Line,
Yeah.
like incling like West Virginia and different. Yeah, so.
Okay, Carlos, got a story?
You know what's funny? It's like at Olive Garden, all I was so I was a host, and then I almost became a busser, and I was like, as soon as they gave me the busser job, I was like, man, fuck this place. But I would have to like do. I did stand up actually. I didn't really notice what I was doing, but I was doing stand up as the host, and they kept me as being the host for such a long time because they go, the customers are in such a good mood when they get sat, even though they've been waiting for 40 minutes, because you're just up there going, because I'm doing impressions, I'm doing voices, I'm fucking around and entertaining the wait because I'm bored and I'm ADD. So they kept me a host for the longest time, but like as for like some like so I actually was just performing most of the time. So when I got into being a performer and comedian, that's when I started dealing more with public like craziness. And the instance that happened to me was I was at Laughs Unlimited and I was headlining this weekend, and it was a Saturday. It was a packed show, except for one table, and it was in the very front, which I get. People don't want to sit in the front. It's whatever. So I'm doing the show, and I do an hour on stage, and it was 30 minutes in. These people walk in and sit down, and I go, oh, they must have been late. And I don't really, go after people.
Correct.
So it's like I'm gonna keep it going as if I don't even see you coming in late, and I'm just gonna you guys boom 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 boom, and then they start talking loud. They start talking so loud where it's like I have to address it now, and they're not talking to me. They're talking to each other. They're talking to each other, and I go, hey, you guys can't come in late and then talk louder than me, and I got a
100%.
microphone.
Correct.
Because like now, and it has to be addressed because the whole audience is kind of seeing it, and it's like so.
Yeah,
and
they're calling a bluff.
the lady, it was two dudes, and a lady was sitting in the middle, and she goes, "No, you better not. You better not." She looked at me. She was like, "Don't. You better not fucking. I don't." And I go, "I better not." I was like, "Bitch, you better not." You know what the fuck? I was like, "How dare you?"
Check yourself.
Yeah, I go, "How dare you come up in this motherfucker?" And I was
my
like,
house.
"Yeah,
Hell
over
yeah.
here. I'm over here. Everybody paid to see me. They didn't pay to see you or hear you."
No.
And then so. And then the dude was like, "Oh, don't you? I got her. And I was like, "Yeah, man, you better." I was like, "Man, you better get your girl, man. You better get your girl." And she was like, "No, fuck that. I told you." She starts yelling at him. And then the other dude was like, kind of embarrassed. And then so he goes, "Come on, let's go." She's like, "I'm not going nowhere." And he hauls off and grabs her by her throat and picks her up out of the chair. Legs and everything, all just he just, "Come on, bitch, I told you." Fucking make me embarrass me. Fucking drag her out. And as I'm on stage, I go, "Oh, I didn't mean for all that."
Y'all getting to another
I was
level.
like, "Yeah, I didn't mean for you to fuck her up in front." I go, I mean, she needed it. No, but I was like, but not. Yeah, I was like,
Correct. I didn't co-sign that.
dude, I didn't co-sign that, but I get it. And I was like, and I'm a little afraid of it. And then and I'm just up there on stage. And then all of a sudden later on too, I talked to Jenny. Jenny's the owner, and I go, "Did you see that?" She goes, "I saw everything." And she was like, "Yeah." She was like, I was about to walk over there and tell them to be quiet or they have to go. But dude took care of it. And I go, "He did." And she was like, "You know what's funny?" I go, "What's funny?" And she goes, "They snuck in." I go, "They snuck in?" She goes,
Call
"Yeah."
on this shit.
So I was like, "Okay, they not only they snuck in, but they snuck in and they took the
Ballsy
seat
enough to go in the
Correct.
very
in the very front one and start talking all this shit." I was like,
Did you think they maybe seen you before and they kind of prep? I mean, that's a ballsy move.
"That's
right?
about," but they were drinking too. Apparently, they were
Okay,
drinking
so
a little bit,
there
and I
you
was
go. They
like,
gotta
"That
lick
was."
the
Just house.
That's
down
all
there,
it was.
cause a scene,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, that was, but that at that time too, and I've had like people almost die and like go into shock or some shit by accident in the uppers and shit like that. So just crazy shit like that.
Okay.
But other than that,
Nothing
no.
left. All right, so my story is at my chicken spot. Like I told you, I had this chicken restaurant. So we opened up. This was our first store in California. It was at the Lakewood Mall in Lakewood, California. And so, long story short, huge Hispanic, basically demographic there. This was, 2008, really when people really going to the food court. The mall is popping. Food court is busy. Kind of before the whole online shopping wave. So obviously, we're a fried chicken concept. We sell chicken tenders, wings, the whole nine, right? Typical Raising Cane's or Zaxby's type model, 3, 4, 5, 6 piece. Fries, coleslaw, drink, that whole type of thing. And whether you're getting wings or tenders, it's the same deal. So there's a shotgun restaurant where pretty much, let's say this is the front counter, and then you have this back hallway, and then all the magic as far as making the food was, behind the scenes. So, all our, typical, like you go up front, that's where you place your order. So there's this black lady who ordered, let's say she ordered a 4-piece. And my staff, obviously Spanish was their first language, right? Like they understand English, but who knows? Somehow they got lost in translation what this lady ordered. So let's say this lady orders a 4-piece, and so she gets her food, but there's only 3 tenders, for example, whatever she ordered. There's 1 tender short in her box. So she goes back to my front lady and she puts on this whole scene. Y'all shorted me a tender. I ordered a 4-piece. There's only 3 fucking pieces in here. I need to speak to the manager. This is some bullshit. What the hell is going on? Here we go. No wonder I never heard y'all. This is our first grand opening there. So she's putting on this whole shit, like she's just walking back. It's almost like You Love Death Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
She's just going back and forth through the line and look at this bullshit and all this and this and that and going racial. Maria done fucked up my order. So she's like, I need to speak to the goddamn manager. So I shit you not, bro. At this time, bro, I'm probably 460 pounds. Okay, huge. Right, and I've never been a small guy, but this was probably the heaviest I've ever been. So like I told you, it's this shotgun type setup. So I literally, like this cup, I come around the counter, and the girl's, her real name was Luna, and she's like, Luna's like, Zach, you need to talk to this lady. This lady's off the chain. I need you to come calm this lady down. Like she said a 3-piece. Like I don't care what she tells you, the motherfucker said a 3-piece. But she's claiming she got a 4-piece. And I asked her 3 times. I repeated the order, but she's claiming somebody shitted her on her tender. So she either wants her money back or she wants the other piece of chicken. Bro, as soon as I came around the corner, as soon as I got the corner, she said, don't even worry about it. I already know where the other fucking piece of chicken went. This motherfucker ate it. As soon as she saw my fat ass in that corner, she literally had Def Comedy Jam in the food court.
Loaded.
Do y'all see this much? She's warning customers. If you order a 4-piece, this motherfucker gonna eat one tender.
That's
He
like
look
at
at
the
there
Nutty
go his
Professor.
fat ass right there.
Yeah, one for the
You
game.
better hide the tender. She is literally going. I don't even want my money back. I understand what happened. You don't have to explain nothing. And it's like, I gotta call. I call this bitch back everything but a child of God. But obviously this is my restaurant. I gotta be politically correct. I gotta be, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. I gotta play the game.
Yeah.
But really, I want to go back and body slam this bitch with some shit too.
Yeah.
But so long story short, it's just the lesson of humbling yourself. Mm-hmm. We didn't do nothing wrong. She ordered a 3-piece but wanted an extra piece of chicken.
And
She saw me. It was a prime example of like using me to her case.
Yeah.
And she pretty much had church service right in front of the store. Mm-hmm. She had an audience. She was loud. She was funny. And so it's just one of those things where, in a real street fight or whatever, that would have gone a totally different way. Or just apart from me being in my business. Mm-hmm. But I had to set an example for my staff. Yeah. And I had to set an example for my customers who would look at me. Because at the end of the day, you know how it is. They ain't never going to see the first punch. They're going to see the last one.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that was the crazy experience I've ever had.
That was literally like the Nutty Professor with
all day long. That's exactly what it is. As soon as I hit that corner,
With
and I'm so
Chappelle.
innocent, I'm a sitting duck because I'm in the back of the kitchen. I don't even see this lady.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, it's you, Drew. Like, hey, I'm sorry, bro. Like, we can easily give you another piece of chicken. Like, you want a refund?
Oh no!
But as soon as I hit that corner and she saw me, she was on my ass.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't Luna's fault. Like, it is what it is. Like, nothing they could do. But you get what I'm saying? I was sitting up.
Yeah, you pointed out something too that I just started recently experiencing about that I didn't know, but people that complain just because they want something free
long.
didn't even think.
Bro.
So
all day long.
I was
Customers always right.
Yeah, because customers always right. So I was doing stand up. I was at the LA Comedy Club here in the Strat, and I was over there and I was doing my set, and we're about to end the show, and I'm like, and I'm just going off, and then because I'm very ADD too on stage, I'm all over the fucking place, and then so I go and then I'm chilling, and people we starting to get hecklers a lot now, which is like, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but this lady yells out, she goes. Because I was talking about just at one point, sometimes during the set, I'll break the fourth wall and I'll just start explaining stuff, what's going on and yada yada yada. And so, I'm explaining because I see this couple and I go, I'm doing the show through you guys. At first, this whole room was fucking cold, but I'm doing the show. You guys are really, it's got the vibe. So everything I'm doing for you, and it spreads out that way because laughter is contagious. This other couple got mad at me. They're like, "Well, what about us? We was helping you out. We was having a good time." I go, "Yeah, but you don't laugh. You guys hit each other when you think something's funny, and I don't need people being silent. I need laughter." And I go, and they do. So I shout out to there. I go, "That's why that was." But you guys are great. And And so I'm kind of just showing the spinning plates, and I go, and right here, this section, they don't get me, but they don't want to be left out, so they're laughing too. And they're kind of like, yeah. And then so as I'm doing that, I go, so we're going to end this real quick, and I just wanted to let you guys know, that's what's been happening with you guys lately, and now we're all on the same page. We've been all on the same page for the rest of the show, but that's what I was dealing with at the first. And then this lady goes, say something. She was like, do jokes about Boulder? And I go, huh? And she was like, do jokes about Boulder, Colorado. And I was like, Boulder, Colorado, what the fuck? Like, I go, I can't do a joke about Boulder, Colorado. And I go, oh wait, I do have a joke about the it's not a joke, it's just the thing about the shooting at the movie, but we can't talk about shootings. And I go, wait, hold on. And so they go, that's not Boulder, that's Aurora. And I go, why am I thinking Boulder? And and they go, oh, Jean-Benet Ramsey. And I go, oh. And then there's a joke that I did earlier about being scared of the dark and about how my mom would be like, they're gonna get you, and then seeing missing milk, and then I'm like, what happened to this kid? And like, they got him, and so he got dark, they got him, and then and so I go, oh shit, well, I go, hey, they got her, and then they all start fucking laughing, and the lady gets up and she's pissed off, she's yelling, she's like, you motherfucker, and she goes off into the apparently I didn't know about this until after I got off stage, but the security guy's like, I had to run defense for you because she's looking for you, and she's yelling at the owner and the manager that she wants, and I go, really? And I go, I just got done talking about not being offended at comedy shows, and she's the one that yelled stuff out, and I just responded, and I brought it back with a callback, and I was like, it actually was pretty brilliant on my spot. I was a little happy, and then he goes, oh, don't worry. He goes, she just wants free shit. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, that's all that she's doing. She wants free shit. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, because he goes, she came back a second time. And I go, he goes, yeah, she took off, came back a second time because we told her and she was like, I want my money back. And they're like, well, we're not giving you your money back. So she went to the ticket box office, which is not where the comedy club's at. Then she came back and was like, I want my money back and da-da-da-da. And I didn't pay for all this da-da-da-da. And then the guy, I guess the husband goes, babe, we didn't pay for the tickets. And she goes, what? We didn't pay for the tickets? And then her face hella dropped. And then so she got embarrassed and then left.
All day long.
But I didn't even know that's even the thing.
And it's so tough for business owners, man, especially in the food game, because our margins are so tight, man. So we got to honor that complaint. But let's just say it's a steakhouse or something like that.
Right.
Man. You know, like it's like, bro, you know, I'm refunding. You know, I'm refunding my whole profit.
Yeah.
And I got to do it because it is what it is. It's tough.
Well, we live in a victim society now too, where everyone wants to play the victim and make anything about themselves. It's such trash. That's all coming to an end.
Thank God.
It's all done.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't service the business and it damn sure don't service the person.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all here today because we persevered, whether it be through drug addiction, alcoholism, entrepreneurship, you know, reinventing yourself, whatever the case may be. And that's the whole goal here, man. You ain't gonna get nowhere by folding or giving up. And that's not what, to Drew's point, that's not what at least modern society recently has been showing people to persevere.
Like I don't want people to get mad too, like because I said I had jokes about shootings, but it was yeah, because it wasn't a joke about shooting. Was I telling you about that about the Batman?
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, about how like that me and my girl were walking. Very people didn't hear because I can't hear the last episode, but like the joke goes like I'm gonna butcher it, but fuck it, just so explain it. Like we went to go see Batman. Actually, went to go see the new Batman that came out. And being with her now, being with the girl or with somebody, I usually always go see shit on my own. But now I have somebody, and I'm the man. Like I still fall in that role. I don't give a fuck. Like I take care of you. Don't trip. Like so I know where the exits are at and shit like that. And I told her, I said, hey, I was like, how do you, I was like, is this good right here? Like this, like we're about 6 rows up. And, the movie theater kind of like goes on a slant, and I got close to the banister, and I go take a look over that. And she looked over, and I go, is that far? Is that far for you? And she was like, why are you asking me that for? And I was like, because like if someone comes up in here shooting, I got to know that how far that fall is, so you don't hesitate. Correct. And run and jump over that motherfucker. Because if you get to it and you're like, oh my god, it's too far. I get shot. I get shot in the back, and I don't want that. And it's like because I want, if that's the case, I will leave you. And I like that's and like I have no problem with telling your parents what the fuck happened. Like I told this bitch to jump. I already made her look over, and she didn't do it. And you know what? But it was like. It's just that joke or that like thought process that people have to go through, especially like when you're with someone. Because I wasn't with someone for the longest time. I was always by myself. Yeah. So I only had to take care of myself. But as soon as I started with seeing somebody and seeing someone seriously, it's like, oh shit. Like I'm willing to.
It's not just about you.
Yeah, it's crazy how I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but all of a sudden this, for lack of a better word, I don't want fucking people getting offended, but like this man thing kicks in where it's like. Oh no! I'll take care of you. I'll jump in front of the bullet. I'll push you. Yeah, provide. Yeah, man. Like all of a sudden, as soon as it became like super serious, I'm like, fuck! I got to make sure that we're taking care of it for the next 5 years now. Like I didn't think 5 years ahead before. No. And I don't even know what it's like because I don't have any kids. But once you have kids, like that's even a whole nother fucking level. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. From what I heard, I ain't got nobody.
You don't got no kids either.
Ain't nobody called me on Father's Day.
You got any kids?
But it's obviously that other person is a person you birthed, and quite frankly, you're responsible for.
Yeah.
Still with an adult, it's still a grown ass adult, but with a kid, it's a whole nother level. But to your point, man, it's that reinvention, that persevering, everything.
That's a real. It's funny. It's like that's one of the reasons too why I don't have kids or I never wanted kids because I was like. That's gonna happen. That thing where I can't be selfish anymore because I want to be selfish. I still want to like everything I earn or want. I never like poor kid. We all grew up in a like less than or probably a broken home or whatever. But just like, I never got to have a lot of stuff for myself. I always had to share or I always didn't get anything. So now that I got to the point where I can provide for myself and I was like, dude, I want to utilize this and enjoy it. Yeah, but also too like. I am giving, like, what I'm saying? I'm not, like, completely selfish. It's like, but now I want to get to the point where it's like I have an abundance where I can throw it out.
Right. Yeah, I call it more prioritization, not necessarily selfish, but on that list of whoever you're looking out for or servicing, you're just putting yourself as a priority, and it's tough, man, because especially when you naturally have either resources weren't there or you've been trained psychologically to look out for people or whatever. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
You like, when is it your time?
Yeah.
I deal with that a lot too.
Dude, isn't that crazy? Like, when is it your time? Or when do I get a break?
100%.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest reasons I was drinking. I found out later on in life, about like, why did I drink? Why were you drink? Why did you drink? Well, it's because like, I was like, when is it my turn? When can I get a break? And I could never get a break, but I could, and then get a break. And then after it was like, get break, another break. And I got addicted to the breaks. And I got addicted to the, I don't have to worry about nothing or no, And then after a while, I got to the point where it's like, hey, I'm a problem now. I've been so careless and carefree that now it's a problem. But it was a big issue where I had to like, also too, like, it took me a long time and a long period. I know we're getting serious now. But it took me a long time to get okay to buy myself things. Like, I saved a ton of shit, and like, dude, I bought a pair of Jordans. My first pair of Jordans I was like, that I honestly earned and bought while I want to say probably 27, 28.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
You're hitting some real shit right now, Carlos. God damn, you about to have me drinking again. But what I like is, so so there's two parts problem. The first part problem, to what you just said, I'm like the other side of the spectrum, where, yes, but everything I did when I first got money or started really making my own or doing my own thing, I bought everything from a place of pain. So, my mama had a fucked up car. And growing up, I used to tell her to drop me off a block away from school. I just walked to school.
Yeah.
So that's why, for one time early in my career, I was a huge car junkie. Whatever mama couldn't buy the Jordans, that's why I got a bunch of shoes. So I bought things out of place of pain. What I found is, and don't get me wrong, I still love nice shit, but what I found is, those material things didn't fill the void of that pain, and I had a lot of dead money. As an entrepreneur, I got 200 pairs of shoes right now. If I sell these motherfuckers, I could probably open up another business. I got 7 cars. How many can I really drive? Or I got this big ass house. I'm never home, right? So it's like these things where you have this dead money. And as you get older, you're like, look, I'm not even really enjoying these things. I bought them from a place of pain, and I either got dead money, it's stopping me from my next hustle, or, am I really using this shit? I wear the same fucking 3 pair of shoes every day.
Yeah.
Right. So am I really using this shit? So that's part of it. And so I think, it's just that was a huge wake up call for me. So I tell people, man, if I didn't help you make it, I ain't gonna tell you how to spend it. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But that's just something for me. Like it was a place of pain that I was pain purchasing.
Yeah.
What really had nothing to do with enjoyment. It was like, yeah, motherfucker, like when I ain't have it, when I got it.
It's so funny too, because like how you're saying about like you're buying it out of pain, and now that you're buying it now, it's like it's not even. It would have been dope if it was there though back in the day, because like it's not. It doesn't have like
it's all retro.
Yeah, it's all
retro or stuff that I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to fill. And, luckily, I'm good with taking care of stuff. So over time, I got a chance to enjoy it. But like I say, the dead money, when you like my mentor always tell me, the money's in the money. Like people, whatever business you do, the money's in the money. The money of really making money is in the money of that. And so when you got this dead money just sitting here, how many cars can you really drive? How many shoes can you really wear? How many clothes, right? So you got all this dead money just sitting in bullshit. You're like, what they said on Baby Boy, guns and butter. Right, Rick? It's the same shit. This you stupid motherfucker, Big Rain, right? But it's guns and butter. It looks good. And don't get me wrong, you might get some pussy out of the deal, or you might get some people dick riding like, oh shit, Big Zach, you got this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like I got a bunch of dead money sitting in something that's only gonna attract more bullshit. It's not gonna attract business or really even personal growth. Yeah. And like I say, I'm not saying live like a pauper, right? I'm not saying that, but get you some stuff that you really can enjoy, and as long as you're not pain purchasing, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, because it's so funny because that pain purchase, it almost sounds like is like you fucking that bad bitch from high school, but you fucking her now, and it's like it's not even that good now. It would have been good back then.
Totally. And it really hit me because like when my first starting career, I was in the restaurant business. So like, motherfucker, you wearing kitchen shoes. You can't wear these pennies to fucking fry the chicken. You wearing the same kitchen shoes every day.
Yeah.
So you got this shoe collection, but you can't put flour on your fucking Space Jams.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's here we go. Like you driving to work, motherfucker, at a restaurant. You don't need you're not pulling up on somebody trying to boss hog at the club. Like, you going to the same spot every day or a spot like this every day. And so that's when it really hit me. Like, it's like,
I got a whole fear of like, oh shit, everything could go away tomorrow, so I need to have something to be able to take care of. Because I was like, it's funny because like I know what it's like to be poor or to have to hustle, and it's like I don't really want to go there, but if I have to, I will. But if I can figure out a smarter way and not, I'm gonna keep putting this away like that. Like I said, so that's why it was hard for me to buy something for myself. I was like, I don't need it. Yeah. What I need to do is I need to make sure that if everything goes away tomorrow, we're still okay for at least 2 years, like until the next thing happens.
But if you're a good salesperson, you're not afraid of getting it back. So that's what I struggle with. It's almost like shooting dice, where it's like I got this far by betting on myself. I'm not afraid of really hitting rock bottom. So do I want to hit rock bottom? No, of course, but I'm not afraid of it. And if God forbid, I know I can run it up again. So it's like the Get Rich or Die Trying, the Curtis, like the 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson mentality in that movie. But that's how it is in life. It's like, I done been down bad before and I ran it back up.
Yeah.
So after you do that a couple times, now it starts to build this undeniable faith. And I don't want to say you're gambling with decisions, but you just live life a little bit more on the edge because you can get it back.
Yeah, it was funny because
that makes sense.
I have this.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had this joke where I talk about I talk about my age. I was like, I'm 42. Like I know I could fuck up my life 2 more times and be okay.
You already know. Yeah. So you're saying a joke. It but it's that I'm a bet on myself.
Yeah. So it happened more now being with somebody. Yeah, that's when it's like turned into like, oh fuck, it's real now.
Yeah,
but I feel it. I was like, oh man, I don't give a fuck. It's just me. I'm cool with sleeping on couches and going fucking doing stand up in the Midwest, cold as fuck, at a one nighter. But that'd be cool for the story. And And I don't want to, like what's the line in Fight Club? He was like, I don't want to die with any scars. Do you? And it's like, yeah, he's right. I don't want to die with no scars. I want stories, man. No. But it gets to the point too now. It's like, oh shit, I gotta grow up. It's because I had that whole Peter Pan syndrome shit. I wanted to stay a kid forever.
Yeah,
because it's funny because I'm on stage too talking and I start realizing, I'm like, oh shit, I'm talking about grown up things now. I was like, this ain't funny to me because I'm talking about marriage, I'm talking about stuff like that. But I was like, I want to talk about our goofy shit again. So that's why I'm gonna start trying to write again from a goofy standpoint because I don't know, man. Because I hear everybody on comedy that I hear now and I see on YouTube all the or like Netflix TikTok and Netflix and all that. It's all very, George Carlin-esque, but not George Carlin, So it's all like, I want to be smart. I want to sound... Comedians are smart, and we have smart things to say. We're going to help society. We're going to build it better. And it's like, no, motherfucker, we're not. That's not our job. Our job is to
make people laugh.
Yeah, to make them not think about that shit for a fucking hot second and then bring them back and like, hey, there's your vacation. I'm your drink. I'm your alcohol. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to be again and get to that point as opposed to like... Let's talk about the problems that we have today, and I'm going to try to make them funny, but I'm not. I'm just so boxing it. I'm waiting for applause as opposed to laughs.
Correct. I was going to ask you some comedy questions, right? Like for a certain extent, right? Like I get that maybe the adult stuff is not as funny as the kid stuff, right? But I just feel like sometimes how I look at it is like, how can I push the button for an adult stuff? So like, I'll give you, like I told y'all last time, right? During pandemic, my homeboys was just shooting me shit and just saying, Zach, run with it. You get high, drunk tonight, hit us with the shit. So I would basically record my little stuff. So they'll say, tonight is interracial marriages. And so I'll go and say, you know what? I ain't never seen an Asian or a white woman marry out of love. My mama was with my daddy 12 years with his black ass because he was trying. My homeboy's Korean wife wouldn't have been with that motherfucker 12 minutes. Like they don't fall in love with a motherfucker riding the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like a black woman, a Mexican woman, oh, he's trying. Or like my mama, oh, your daddy could wear a suit. Well, the motherfucker didn't wear a suit to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different mentality in how dating and marriage and the conversations of marriage are, or the complexities of how do I view this partnership? And you hear people say it all the time, marriage is the biggest business deal you'll ever have, right? And like even my grandma told me, like she didn't marry my granddaddy who was a millionaire, but over time he became one. And she told me, she's like, I was a little kid, and obviously I didn't follow the rules. My wife ain't got shit, but she basically said, don't marry for love, don't marry for looks, don't marry for lust, marry for money. And she's like, I ain't love your granddaddy when I met his ass, but I knew he was a hard worker. I knew he was a hustler. I knew eventually over time he would figure it out and he died a millionaire and left everything to her. So it's a business deal.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, not to say love can't be there, not to say attraction can't be there, but that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. And, my homeboy's Korean wife and white wife will laugh. And but, you going back to a $3 million house, man, like I'm saying, like it's not just, he's got a good looking suit or, I love him or he's trying. Like, no, this motherfucker ain't trying. He done figured it out. And you done figured out that this is a better life for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because it's like I married what they say, don't marry a liability, marry an asset.
Correct.
So it's like, and it's funny because like I feel like in the asset aspect of it, it's like I've never had anybody root for me.
Yeah, that's too. Like that stuff the money can't buy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
bro.
definitely. I definitely get what you're saying. Yeah, no. I know. But like, she's not for money. I married wrong. So I was like, I gotta find
my wife. You are probably related. My wife.
I was like, I gotta find the other things that are good about now. But it's like, the loyalty and the rooting and the I mean, because she doesn't have social media.
Correct.
She's like, no, I don't want anything to distract this and this peacefulness. That she creates the peacefulness. She creates the grounding. I'm like, it's like walking barefoot, like
100%.
Collins.
So now, as a business person, and we transition to an analogy, you ask yourself, okay, perfect. Maybe this person doesn't have the financial means, but they're making me such a better person.
Yeah.
So what does that equate to?
Yeah.
Right? Like you're more productive. You're a different person. You got a bigger ROI on yourself, so they brought that to the table. But long story short, that's just like goes back to like how my homeboys would hit me. They'd hit me with something, and boom, I just do a joke. So it's just different. Cool, like I'll give you another one. Like they say, FaceTime or boys trip. My wife don't never FaceTime if we in town. The minute I drive fucking 5 minutes outside that city limit, hey motherfucker, I just had your mind. I'm like, bitch, you ain't had me on your mind. You want to see if it's some Colombian hoes in the background? Like, no, I'm going to work. Like I told you I was going to work. I'm at work.
Yeah.
This is where it's at. But it's just that whole FaceTime.
She's like, what shoes you wear? Let me see the shoes you
already
wear,
know.
just so she can see the whole thing.
That's another one because I married a Hispanic woman. So like, don't let that outfit be too fly when you leave the house.
Yeah.
Where you going, motherfucker?
Why you so dressed?
Why you wearing the favorite cologne I bought you? I'm like, fuck, what you want me to go out and stink? Like, goddamn. Like, I wash my ass, I put on some cologne. Like, no, why you put that one on? It's like, so it's all this stuff, and it's all trauma-based situations that people have gone through, whether there's things they've seen their parents do or family members, but it's funny. It's funny, right? Like,
it's so funny that you bring that up too, because like this happened yesterday. We're at we're in the car and I'm doing business actually. Like I'm texting one booker. I'm helping out this other comic that I want to bring on the road with me, and then I was doing edits for a flyer really quick. But this is all because she ran to the store and she ran back out and she couldn't run out. So I'm in the car doing this blah blah blah, and I'm thinking of things. Also, I'm ADD. So as she's kind of quiet, and I'm like, "What's up? Why are you quiet for?" And she's like, "No." And I go, "Something's wrong."
You already know.
What's happening? What happened?
You already know.
What's going on? She's like, "How would you feel if I looked at all these dudes, like all of a sudden just kept looking at dudes?" I was like, "That would be hella disrespectful." She's like, "Right. So why do you do it to every girl that walks out of the store?" And I go, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I know you like white girls." And I go, "What?" She's like, "That white girl walked by and you were looking at her." And I go, "No, I don't know who you're talking about." And I literally didn't know who she was. I don't. I go, "Babe, if someone said I give you $10 million to tell me what that girl was wearing," I go, "We wouldn't have $10 million. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about." And she goes, "I seen you looking at her." I go, "Babe, I'm ADD. I have daydreams every 30
you
seconds."
Might be staring at something and not even be in that situation.
And she probably walked in my line of daydream that I didn't even realize, because I'm thinking of 3 different. I'm working. And then she was like, she goes, "Just admit it. I mean, just don't. Do you think I'm stupid?" And I'm like, "No, man,
it's a rhetorical question,
dude."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, this is." I go, "Babe, you better stop. You better stop," because I was like, which is funny because like for one thing, I do understand. Oh, she really loves me. She really likes me. And she's like, "Hey, don't be looking at other bitches because that makes me mad." And I'm like, "Okay, I get it." But it's not too far drastic to where it's like a detrimental where like there's no peace in this house. Like I got to worry about
No,
this
it's not
bitch.
that level, but it's just funny stuff that's a joke that ain't really a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't.